love Michigan sports. Red Wings, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Michigan State, and the list goes on. And you love beer. Love beer. Who doesn't? What if we mixed the two together? This is State of My Sports. We'll talk everything Michigan sports, like only we do, and then we'll down our fair share of beer from a local brewery, grading the beer throughout the episode. So pop a cold one on your end, and we'll get busy on ours. This is the State of My Sports.
That's right, everybody. This is State of My Sports, and this is episode 123. We are once again ready to talk about 3 football games. It's a little different. We're recording on a Monday. We got Monday Night Football going on. It's almost halftime. We decided to kind of cram the college talk in right now, and we'll get into the Lions once they finish the game. But yeah,
Lions are like threatening right now. So if they score a touchdown right here, I'm jumping in. Just so you know,
it's gonna get loud, and that's fine. That is fine. But yeah, we got Sparty with a really big victory, a statement win for them, which is awesome to see. Michigan took care of business against a bad football team, but the way they did it, I think, is a little eye-opening. We'll go over some of the numbers that were exciting with that. Talk about their first big matchup, if you will. And here I am screwing up already on the live stream.
It's okay. I think the music is too loud too.
It is a little bit, but it's all right. It was last week too, and it sounded actually pretty good. But Michigan, just crazy numbers out there, but big week up coming up with Rutgers. I think it's a good step in the right direction for test-wise. So here we are with Michigan. And you get into the Big Ten season. Good. We got Michigan State against Nebraska, which is not going to be as easy as we may have thought with how they looked against Oklahoma. We're going to get into all of this good stuff. Love it. Did he make the field goal or no?
He missed the field goal, but it was blown dead before that, so whistle.
Perfect.
Love
it. Give Seibert another chance. We're going to obviously grade our Michigan beer from Siciliano's Market, and we're going to do our Michigan, our picks of the week, Betting Hero picks of the week. Sorry, I'm distracted. This week. It's okay. I'm not going to. That's my last time apologizing for what's going on. I've had a few already in the first half too, so. You got like post podcast Sam at the very beginning of the podcast, so it'll be really fun.
What is this music, dude?
It should be done very, very soon. We got about 15 seconds left.
It's still loud.
It sounds loud to us. I don't know if it sounds loud to listeners or not. But
yeah, we'll find out later.
We'll get over it
when we both listen.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm Sam Waltart. With me today, we got Ryan Waltart. It's
Hello.
us two. We're killing it. Ryan's running the board. I'm running the stream. And like the buttons and stuff like that. So it's
made it. It's good.
And he made it. So we got a lead at half. You got to love that.
Let's go.
But we're not ready to talk Lions yet. We're going to talk about that after the game. We're going to actually pause the podcast and jump back into Lions when it's time. So
kind of creative idea this week. Let us know what you think about it.
It just lined up perfect, right?
Yeah.
It really did. But really, I wanted to start off. And Ryan, people don't care what you did this weekend. People don't care what I did this weekend.
People
care about sports. Right?
Oh, yeah, I guess I won't get into mountain biking.
You don't want to get into mountain biking?
No, I don't need to go get into mountain biking or going to Boyne Highlands or
we did it
downhill or jumps.
We talked about the injury. I can't believe you got back on a bike already.
Yeah, I shouldn't have, but I did.
A week and a half after the injury.
Yeah.
Like, you literally sneezed that thing off because it hurt so bad, the background.
Oh, yeah.
Last week. And now here you are on a bike again yesterday, putting the podcast in jeopardy.
I mean, I haven't sneezed in a while, but I probably feel some pain right now still, too. But
how did it go, though? Was it
it was awesome. Yeah. I'll save you the details of mountain biking, actually, even though it was – I can't really describe it. It was just –
Did your chain stay on the whole time? That's what
I rented a bike. I rented a bike
really?
with full suspension, and I am going to go buy one. So
gotcha. So it's a little bit of an upgrade from what you had.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'll just say, skipping all those details, I went to Petoskey Brewing Company after that, which was awesome, and had a couple of their New England. Well, I had their Juicy, which is their Juicy
it's called
IPA.
Juicy, yeah. Yep.
And then their Blonde Ale, which is really good too. So
yeah, did you eat there or no?
Yeah, got a burger and
it was good?
Sweet potato fries, and seriously, it was awesome.
I think breweries have very underrated food. Like the ones that go full scratch kitchen, like are ready to go and
They
Not
were
just
fast.
like
It was busy and they were fast, and you're right. They just had everything ready to go. Really good food, great flavors, awesome people. Yeah, I'd go back.
Yeah, before we get into the episode, I did want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors that help keep this thing rolling and free for our listeners. The Hops Brewing Company and Cafes, the official brewery of State of My Sports. Siciliano's Market helps us pick out the best craft beer in West Michigan, or in Michigan. Oh my gosh, I'm really struggling today. It's all right. Mac Web Design helped us keep our website up and running. Or get our man, this is really bad, right? You're gonna have to do all of the reading.
Yeah, let me know, man.
And then Betting Hero helps us and you get the best promos available for the sports betting world. I'm Sam Waldart, Ryan Waldart. Man, this is my sheet. That's why I did that again.
Yeah.
I apologize. But one thing, so before we get into our teams, college, and what Michigan and Michigan State did, there was some interesting games this weekend in the college football. Not really any big upsets, but you had Alabama. They were, I mean, in my opinion, it would be more exposed by Florida. But obviously in the SEC world, everybody's going to say, well, it's the SEC, and that's how good Florida is and all that good stuff. Well, I mean, we'll see how that comes in. Cincinnati was actually in a pretty tough game with Big Ten's Indiana, which was, I mean, I think Cincinnati was, ranked 7th or something?
Yeah, 7 or 8 or something. Yeah,
Indiana
they're way
unranked.
up there.
Yeah. Indiana scored 15. They outscored them 15-0 in the fourth quarter to win that game, 38-24. So the score kind of sounds like somewhat of a blowout. But man, that game was tight. What do you think of all of these tight games that you're seeing in the college football?
I think
different, right?
I think it's the changing of the guard. We no longer have the talents that everybody's been watching to go to the NFL for so many years. Like Trevor Lawrence is no longer in college football. So Clemson is not just a guarantee.
Yeah.
Did you see the Clemson game too? I mean, it was crazy.
So
they didn't
Clemson
score.
won 14-8 against Georgia Tech.
They just did not
took a goal line
score.
stand to win that game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, they easily could have lost that game. You don't have the guarantee of him playing well. You don't have the guarantee of Justin Fields playing well, even though I don't even remember the Ohio State quarterback's name, but he is kind of crushing it. But he's at least putting up big numbers. But you're right. I mean, you're seeing these big college programs getting the ones at the top, the Oklahomas and some of the others, like they're not blowing teams out like you would expect early on in the year.
Yeah, Oklahoma was in a game against Nebraska.
They were, I know. And really what you're seeing most are the Michigan States, and some of the, like even Penn State, I guess, is stepping up. And you really feel like maybe the top of the top, there's not a huge gap between them and then the best of the rest.
Yeah, I'm wondering why that is, because talent-wise, that shouldn't be the case. I wonder if the COVID year has something to do with it, like not developing the guys that are going to be important the following year. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff comes into play. I'm sure you had a lot of sit-outs. I guess I don't know that off the top of my head who all sat out and stuff like that. But it's just like, I don't know. It's different because obviously you have Alabama. And, yeah, they were in a somewhat of a tough game with Florida, and that happens with Alabama at least every year. But, like, when you see Clemson and Oklahoma struggling – Ohio State. I mean, they snuck through. What was it? Tulane? Is that who they played? No, that doesn't.
No,
sound
that was
right.
Oklahoma against Tulane week 1.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. They played Tulsa, right? Another T.
Yeah,
T
yeah.
school.
There you
go. So yeah, it was. So that game ended. So it was a 21 point win, but it was like a pick 6 late. That kind of changed the feel of it. I mean, it's just like you don't have the top 4 nailed down week 3 like you usually do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't know what the playoff is going to be.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's wide open at this point, other than Alabama.
Right.
Because
exactly.
Alabama could probably lose 2 games and still make it in at this point.
I think it's a good spot, you know. Like the teams that we're rooting for have a legit chance as long as they keep clicking some wins off.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. It is time to introduce our Michigan beers for this episode, but before we do, I want to remind everyone of our partner, Siciliano's Market. They are simply the best beer store in West Michigan, located on Lake Michigan Drive, right between Grand Valley State University's main campus and downtown Grand Rapids. Wherever you live in West Michigan, it is worth the short drive for what they have to offer. Whether you know what you want or need some help from their expert staff, Siciliano's Market is the best place for that. They not only have a massive and up-to-date inventory of the best craft beers from across our great nation, they are individually priced so you can mix and match to build your own 6-pack. They obviously have a great selection of craft beer. They also also have specialty wines, spirits, ciders, coffee, tea, tobacco, and cigars. Siciliano's Market also has the largest selection of homebrew and winemaking supplies in West Michigan. We love that Siciliano's Market is part of the State of My Sports family, and it is who we visit to help us choose our Michigan beers for each and every episode, so please check them out and let them know that we sent you. So here we are, Ryan, just me and you. What we decided to do is pick out the best sour in the fridge. Or not, I shouldn't say the best. The most intriguing sour in the fridge, which is what?
Yeah, this is Chocolate Dip is the name of the beer.
So dip, not drip?
Dip, yeah.
Okay, I wanted to say drip in my head.
Chocolate Dip from Arvon Brewing Company. Talk about unique. Like I literally took a drink of this thing and I told you I felt like I was chewing it. Like this is a smoothie.
What all is in this?
Oh man, I don't even know.
So you turn on the side there.
Well, I don't know. Here we go. It says kettle sour with raspberries, chocolate, and lactose. So it's really, really basic. There's nothing to it.
I would have thought there were a lot more fruity flavors in that.
Yeah, but no,
but
it's
the raspberry is
with the chocolate.
Brilliant.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Add something else? You don't need to.
Honestly,
it's that good.
This is one of the better sours. I first couple sips, I would drink this all day, every day. It is unbelievable. What's the percentage of this one?
I'm guessing either like 7 or 8 or something. I'm not really sure. Actually, you know what?
This is like 5 or 6.
This is a lighter one. This is 5.0.
5%?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. I mean, we don't have to get into the Arvon sours. We all know how great those things are. But man, this is going to be that's a very, very tasty beer. We'll see how those go down throughout the episode. But we did want to get into the main topic of episode 22. I want to remind everyone that the Hops Brewing Company and Cafe is open and pouring some of the best craft beers in West Michigan. The revamped food menu, rotating taps, wine, and ciders make the Hops perfect for whatever you have going on, from dinner with the family, late night drinks with friends, and everything in between. The Hops is becoming a staple in the West Michigan restaurant community that we highly recommend to our friends and listeners. Keep an eye out for their new trailer at festivals and events that will help spread the word of their great beer and food. The Hops is the official brewery of State of My Sports in 2021. And if you mention State of My Sports, you'll get a nice little discount off of your first beer. But really, there's nothing. The main topic of this episode, I think the Spartans deserve the main topic for what they did. So they went out, beat the 24th ranked Miami Hurricanes 38-17, outscoring them 21-3 in the fourth quarter. The Spartans' balanced offense and 4 takeaways was eye-opening against their most talented opponent that they have faced this year. Thorne went 18 of 31 for 261 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. 2 to Naylor, who finished with 4 catches and 82 yards, 1 to Reed, and another to Kenneth Walker. On the ground, Walker had 172 yards on 27 rushes for a 6.4 average and a touchdown through the air, like we already mentioned. The cornerback Ronald Williams had 3 tackles, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. Quavarius Crouch. Yeah. That's a really tough name to say. Had a fumble recovery. And safety Angelo Gross also had an interception, which contributed to the 4-0 in takeaways for MSU and played a huge role in the impressive 21-point victory as a 7-point road dog. I don't want to get into the players. I think, for me, I actually was able to watch this game. Michigan was in a complete blowout, which rightfully so, and I was able to put this game on and actually, digest it live. Usually I kind of try to touch on highlights and all that good stuff and watch the game in fast motion, but sitting down and actually watching this game in each and every play, I thought there was a couple really key turning points in this game. When Michigan State was up 17-14, I think it was the second play of the fourth quarter, Beasley went in, beat his man, smoked King to force the fumble, and Panasic recovered it.
Yep.
And that was a major turning point. I mean, you're up 3. The other team has the ball, and you need a playmaker, and they absolutely made plays. Two key playmakers on this defense went and made a play. The sack happened, created the fumble, and then Panasiuk, who obviously everybody knows, went out and made it. They set him up for a short field. Thorne threw a touchdown on 3rd and 7 from Miami's 10-yard line, so that was another key play to kind of cap that off. It wasn't necessarily just, get the 3 points, a free 3 points. It was go out there and make it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, take
Thorne
advantage of the situation.
And absolutely did it.
Yeah.
Great play calling as well throughout that. Another key point, and this is kind of the way I want to start. Ryan, you can jump in anytime you want, but another key point that I saw was 24-17 in the fourth. Michigan State had a 4th and 1 on Miami's 40-yard line. Mel Tucker, he wasn't afraid. He went down, and I think Thorne actually ran the ball, got that first down. I mean, he wasn't afraid. And I feel like that play right there, going for it on 4th and 1, it was, I'm not afraid to lose this game. I want to go out and win this game. That is very rare in the college football world because people don't, like, how you do it. I mean, it does matter, but at the same time, it's like a lot of coaches on the road in that situation would be like, we just want to win. We're going to play it safe, keep it, get the points where we can and all that kind of stuff or whatever it was going to be, pin him back. He was like, no, we're going to go for it. We've practiced these plays. We've gone for it. We know what we can do.
I mean, that brings you back to week 1 against Northwestern. We talked about that exactly with this coaching staff and the tone that they were setting, going for these, being the aggressive type, and they're not just sitting back and trying to win the game because of some random fluke plays. No, they're playing to win the game, and that is so important for this team that, again, is coming off of, let's not forget how bad they were last year with their quarterbacks and all the transfers that, are gone from this team.
Yep.
They have established a new tone to this team, and they knew that this was their year because they brought in so many transfers. That was very important for them to set the tone early, establish what they expected. But this also tells me that they trust he trusts his quarterback completely. Peyton Thorne is his guy. He's been playing so well, composed, smooth, making the right plays, dropping it down when he needs to, throwing it away when he needs to.
Yeah.
And he knows that if he puts the ball in his hands, he's not going to go lose the game for this team, and most likely he's going to do the right thing and win the game for the team.
What is he at, like nine touchdowns to 0 interceptions?
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
Taking care of the football. He's running the ball when he needs to. He's so composed. It is great to see.
Well, and Kenneth Walker, had 172 yards on the ground. 172.
That's a lot of yards.
He dominated, and again, against Miami. This is a top 25 team still this week. I know they haven't looked great. They were I think ranked 14 to begin the year.
I think you're right, yeah.
They lost a tough one and
Alabama.
they got blown out against Alabama, but
I forget who they played last week.
And they were still ranked 24th. So let's not say that this team does not have talent.
Look,
Miami has talented players. They have big recruits. They have top level talent. And this is where the coaching made such a big difference because their players shined and they really dominated this game. I know the score could have been a little closer, but I will say they dominated this game because they made all the plays they should have, and they did not mess up any of those.
The cool part about that, so they went for it on 4th and 1. Peyton Thorne ran, got the first down. Very next play, what'd they do? Threw it deep.
Yep.
Right? 39-yard touchdown. Who was that one to? Was that to Naylor?
I think that was Naylor again.
Yeah. And that was just that's a coaching decision, but the players did execute. I don't want to pull this away from the players because what they've done is absolutely insane. But this is the difference between a good football coach and a bad football coach. And I'm not comparing him to anybody else. I'm just saying you have a good football coach here at Michigan State.
It's solid, yeah.
And it's not just Mel Tucker. It's who Mel Tucker put in charge below him of each individual position group and everything in between. You know what I mean? His coordinators, all of that good stuff. And remember how I was saying that we would be done at halftime?
Yeah.
And we're
Man, that went fast.
That went really fast.
They're
that
kicking
was
off
the
right
fastest
now.
halftime I've ever seen in my entire life. Do we want to let's finish Michigan State and then pause it there?
I want to talk about Peyton Thorne just a little bit. I think so. I'm not going to act like he was so perfect this game. Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns. He had 0 interceptions. Early on in this game, I just want to bring attention to it because what did we talk about is his biggest weakness when we were going through the season preview, and I was impressed with his athleticism. I was impressed with his arm action and how how smooth his delivery is, his ability to see the field and scan the field right and left and throw deep and throw it short and all this stuff. He does all that really well, and I'm very impressed with him. But his biggest weakness is sometimes he holds onto the ball. He does not make the quick decision. He holds onto the ball, and that pressure can get to him. And we saw early on in the game, the whole first half, Miami got to him. Miami sacked him a few times. They were causing a lot of pressure, and when he tried to scramble, there were 2 or 3 of them. You can't get away from all of them. So I think there was a little bit of a playbook for the next teams to say the key to Peyton Thorne is to cause pressure, get to him early. Now, with all that said, Peyton Thorne responded, and he is so calm, cool, and collected, and it takes one play for that kid to just step out, feel comfortable at all times, and make the right throw.
He looks like he doesn't care.
He does.
And I think that's a really good thing as a quarterback, but he actually doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I think you can look at Aaron Rodgers, and he likes to pretend that he doesn't care, but he actually cares.
Well, you hate him. You hate him.
I hate him. But, like that, I feel like he's a fake not care guy. You know what I mean? But, you look at this guy, Peyton Thorne, he's just like, hey, trust me. He feels the most confident I've ever seen somebody after 3 games that was supposedly in the midst of a job, fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, competition at the quarterback.
With Russo and all that stuff,
Yep.
he looks more confident than Cade in a lot of ways. And I don't want to make this a Michigan State thing, but that dude, he's the leader of this offense. Kenneth Walker is obviously the playmaker, and he's got playmakers around him, but he's leading it. He's the one leading the charge. And I think that's a really good thing. Defensively, Michigan State held Miami to just 52 yards rushing on 24 attempts, 2.2 average. That's eye-opening to me. Again, against a Power 5 team, a big brand in this country that is getting recruits that you should not be able to manhandle up front, offensively or defensively, and they did. They beat this team in the trenches. And I don't want to get into how good or how bad Miami is, but how talented and the type of players that they're bringing in, and you just beat them at their own game.
Yeah.
In a game that they should be able to just man up and beat you. You did it.
It was in Miami. Let's not forget that.
That's a great point.
That's a huge deal. That means, again, this team is calm, cool, collected. They came ready to play, and they were disciplined. That speaks to coaching. That speaks to key people, personnel, like Peyton Thorne, Xavier Henderson on defense. Those guys are playmakers. They're ready to go. And but
let's go.
Sack.
Who got that one? Who was that?
Oh,
Brockers.
Finally,
baby. He's alive.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was on the team still.
That causes a long third down.
But anyways, I mean, not only was the playmaking, obviously the 4 turnovers is awesome compared to the 0, but I feel like the scheme that Michigan State put in front of them, they let King kind of make his plays, make the throws, but they made sure he didn't beat him on the ground, and they made sure that they didn't beat him with the big plays and their talent. You know what I mean? And Michigan State executed that to a T. It was absolutely perfect.
They were disciplined.
Just like you said. Mel Tucker went out and he said, we were prepared to go into the 15th round if necessary.
Oh my gosh!
They've trained in a manner that will allow us to do that, and allow us to have confidence in tight ball games. Man, this is awful. We wanted to drag them into the deep water where we live with the strain and struggle and pressure, the weight room, the discipline, the attention to detail, all of those things. That's what we wanted to do, and I'm telling, they did that so perfectly.
I didn't listen to anything you just said.
That's fine. What happened? What happened on that big third down?
They converted the third down. Aaron Rodgers threw just a dime to Devontae Adams.
Against who?
Dropped it in.
Who's it
50
against?
yards?
Who was it against, though?
Oh, my gosh.
Infantu?
It was against
Iffy.
Yeah. And I think he went down.
The players believed in the plan. They believed in the process. We were able to get it done today on the road. And I think that's such a big part of what we saw here is they just went out and dominated a Power 5 team on the road, on their soil, in their environment, in their heat. You know what I mean? I remember people talking about how the heat could be a big issue for Michigan State. Man, I'm completely bought into this team. I don't know what that means exactly. I'm not saying they're going to go beat Penn State or Ohio State or whatever it is, but they are right there. They are a very good team. And I don't know. What do you think about them, Ryan?
I think they just match up. I think they match up really well against, I think, any team they play this year. They're not going to be overwhelmed. They're not going to be completely destroyed, by any one facet of the game. They match up. Their quarterback is going to compete and be equal to the opposing team's quarterback. Their running game is going to be equal to the other team's running game. Their defense, they have enough playmakers on defense to get it done and to cause pressure when they need to. Yeah, some games might slip away for them. I'm expecting them to lose some games. I'm not saying that they're this, the Big Ten champs guaranteed. But when they go up against Ohio State's got their hands full with this Spartan team. When Michigan plays, this is going to be a freaking good game, man.
Man, Michigan State game is looking more and more intriguing. Like those guys, that is going to be a punch for punch.
I know. And I think
that is going to be a hockey fight.
I think.
You know what I mean?
I look at the weapons that Michigan State has, and I say their biggest hole is tight end, and that's not saying that much because their wide receivers are so good. Jalen Naylor really is a playmaker. He's the playmaker we thought he was 2 years ago, and he just got hurt 2 years in a row. Jaden Reed is, I think he is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the Big Ten. He is a star in the making. I really believe that.
Yeah.
I think Peyton Thorne is a stud quarterback who I don't know if he's going to win Big 10 quarterback of the year or anything, but he's always going to be up there. He's a top third Big Ten echelon quarterback. Mm-hmm. And on defense, again, they have enough playmakers. So I just think they're solid. They're rock solid, and they're going to be ready to go. They're well coached, rock solid playmakers. They have a lot of confidence going right now. They're dangerous.
They do. Very dangerous. I mean, I don't know. I'm very excited to see what this team can do. I'm curious if this game against Nebraska could be somewhat of a trap game. And a trap game is probably the wrong word because it should be a good game. But, I think you go back a couple weeks, people are talking about how Nebraska's not looking good and they're bad and stuff. And then Michigan State's looking great. It's like, man, it should be a blowout. But then what Nebraska did, are there any keys to this game that kind of stand out to you? Or is it the nitty-gritty, get the running game going, and let everything else kind of fall into place?
I think you stop the run. For the Spartans, they need to stop the run, and then this game is in control. Nebraska has a pretty good defense, but they're not going to stop Michigan State all game long. I think their running game and passing game has the potential to beat Nebraska whenever they want to, or at least here and there, So they're going to put points on the board, and if Nebraska cannot run the game or run the ball, then this game is over. I expect Michigan State to handle the game, maybe not a blowout, but they're going to handle the game by stopping the run. I expect them to do that. So that is my thought process with this. And I also want to just say, after this Nebraska game, which it's not walk in the park, but then you're going against Western Kentucky next, and then Rutgers after that, then an Indiana team that looks, here and there, and leading into Michigan. So they really could be a team that turns from surprise to Big Ten champion hopeful. At this point, if they start taking care of games like Nebraska after this week, I really do think of them as Big Ten championship contenders.
Yeah, because they're one game away from sneaking into something like that.
Yes.
So Michigan State sitting here at 3-0, has things rolling. The team already has more wins in 2021, 3 than it did in 2020. Tucker has 3 wins over ranked opponents in 10 games at Michigan State. After getting the 4th most votes among others receiving votes, the AP Top 25 came out and had Michigan State jumped up to 20th. We did put a poll out on our Instagram page for the people that saw it, and we asked, where do you guys think Michigan should be ranked, or Michigan State should be ranked? And people so the average kind of came out at 20.5. So I would say our listeners kind of have a good pulse of what that is and what Michigan State is. I mean, the sky's the limit with this team. I think they're a couple wins away from really jumping in these polls and seeing what they can do.
If it's craft beer in Michigan sports, we may not be the authority, but we love both like a fat kid loves cake. Hot, hot! This is State of My Sports.
For our live viewers, we are going to stop right now and watch more of this Lions game. We're going to jump back on post-game, maybe a little earlier, and kind of talk. We're going to talk Michigan. we're going to talk Lions.
That's really it, right?
And
Just
really, we're going
those
to
two.
zoom right through it and get our picks in, all that good stuff. But thanks for jumping in here. We're going to jump in a little bit later. So please keep an eye